Okay, welcome back. So now we have a very exciting presentation. This is going to tell you more about the way that Minecraft is played and some cool stuff that they do over in our China communities. And this is from our partners over in Minecraft China in NetEase. So if you want to introduce yourself, take it away.
Hi everyone. I'm Li Peng. Very nice to meet you all. This is actually my first time in Minecon. So I've been in Minecraft creative for about 3 years, doing my own LinsCraft team. And gradually over the years, I go over with different global teams, international teams, talk about some of the ideas, have interaction with them, and also with local Chinese team and work with them as well. But over the 3 years, I started figuring there is something very interesting, what everybody do differently and also the same. So today I brought this up to you to give you a compare and contrast or comparison between some of the difference and the same thing that we do. So first of all, I would like to go over the international creative community and their ideology behind it. The three teams that we're talking about today is Everbloom Studios, BlockWork, and also goCreative. Three very fabulous teams, and I think some of them are actually over here say hi to us. They create fabulous stuff all over the world. They have team members that across the world. Fantastic jobs that they did, and they're basically what they do is that they revolve most of their work around art. And then what I mean by art is a very big, broad topic. Things to do with sculptures, cities, even to visual arts. And some of these things are very fabulous. So for instance, we can look at a 3D visual arts from Everbloom, such as the Symbiosis, a place that was set in a very foreign planet. And then we also have the Hard Rain. It's an impressionism kind of painting. Another big topic that people do in international realms is cities, big city plannings, fantasy worlds, dragons and all that things. But in particular, the climate host city created by BlockWork is actually something that is very interesting because it contains futuristic styles and futuristic city patterns. And here's a better look at it. Hey, look, there's a CO2 emission over here.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I love that. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, and then there's also wind turbines. So you can see from the details that people put really lots of attention to some of these works. And then we have sculptures from goCreative. Some of these things are actually very interesting sculptures, humans, and anatomy, and all kinds of different kind of shapes and sculpted terrains. But in particular for this one, it's the Arrival of the Gunslinger. It's this place that's set in the Wild West. And in particular, this is actually a train going through a desert with gigantic monster skulls and very bizarre, places, and it's coming out with smog of skull and stuff. And it's just very interesting to see people do that in the international region. And for the West, it seems that Minecraft is becoming the paint, the brush, the canvas to create a lot of different works. And the creative community China contains a bit of a different story here, because what we do is that we do things revolve around architecture, and we kind of dig very deep into it. We try to recreate some of these stuff, or we create new areas, but we try to make it as professional as possible. So for instance, one big category is the classical revival. This is where we contain a lot of things like from the past or existing. Such as the one you see here, Forbidden Palace, that still exists till today. And a big example by Epicwork, one of the Chinese team, did plenty of classical revival cities, such as the Luoyang city, which is the east capital of the Tang Dynasty. And we also have the Old Summer Palace, which is a Qing Dynasty garden. Very impressive replica. And then we have the Forbidden Palace by Cthuwork, a 1:5 scale, very large, about 3,000 times 4,000 scale on map. And if you go to there today, take a picture of this, it's exactly the same. So here's another trip. Actually, that some of the members went there, and so it's like an archaeological kind of site, and just people go there and study stuff and replicate it. And then we have the Renaissance. For the West, it seems that Renaissance is something more interesting about how to divide the modern age and the classical age. For us, it's more like how can we bring the classical age into the modern times. And we try at LinsCraft, for us, we try to create things such as the Sanya Mango Tree Hotel based on real terrains, It's a real site, and we create hotels inside, resorts, so that people can live in. It's full of details. And then we have the Port of Frontier, something that's more fantasized, but we try to blend with industrial revolutions things with traditional Chinese cultures and also values, but we try to make it into a more fun and fantasized world. So for us, it seems that China uses Minecraft as the pen, the paper, and the ruler. We try to create things in more kind of design. We create it professionally. We try to make it into something like a more professional design tool. But that doesn't mean there isn't an exception. So for NLT, which is also a Chinese community, what they do is called Thea, which is a fantasized world as well. Very similar to what the West are trying to do as well as a city, with artistic stuff inside, with sculptures. This thing right over here actually rotates inside their animation that they did a while ago. And this big ship that they did was also something that is very interesting. Actually flies, and then people can walk around it. So a step to work forward, I think what we could do is basically, since we have differences, and since we do have similar ideology going towards creative artworks, creative regions, I think there's also a fact where we can work together, no matter where you're from, how old you are, no matter what kind of interest you're in. As long as you like the passion of doing artworks and architecture, it's something very interesting. I would like to end this speech with basically an example from China and a place called Dunhuang, which this is a big cave of different artworks and different things that people paint in. And it started from the 4th century and ended around the 13th century. Over the past almost 1,000 years, people created Buddhism, Taoism, blend with other foreign cultures, other kind of foreign painting techniques. And if they're able to do that, I believe we're also able to do it. So I would like to leave the rest of the time to question for me. Actually, I will invite some of the team that actually exists here, and you can ask them questions.
Come on up.
So can I have goCreative, Epicwork, a person from LinsCraft, of course, and Cthuwork, and if possible, a person from BlockWork if they're here. Feel free to sit down.
Okay, so we do have a question from the Beam chat, actually for you, which is, how long have you been playing Minecraft?
Minecraft, I've been playing for a good 3 to 4 years. We started out the team professionally a year ago. Here's an example of what we create in Minecraft. And the team keeps on expanding, and we have various members that have been playing the game for 6 years. Some joined in just a year ago, so it's really diverse.
Excellent, excellent. We have some more questions from the Beam chat, which is to all of you, which is, do you ever build it to people player scale, as in real life dimensions?
A couple of things we do is, if let's say a YouTuber wants a role-play map, that's always to player scale, so that's something we do, we have done in the past. I don't know about you guys, have you done something like that?
So the question is, if people want to play our map, or
Right, if you build it to scale, so as in as if they were actually walking through it.
yeah. So in LinsCraft, we design buildings and architecture that fit the character in Minecraft. So I think in real life, Steve is like 1.8 meters tall. So yeah, that's it.
Well, most of our project is actually the player scale, because we think one of the biggest amazing feature of Minecraft is that players can visit all buildings in their first scale, and just like they are working in the real world. So most of our projects will build in real scale, like one is one, and most of the buildings will have decorations inside, so we can visit every corner of this project.
I would like to use the I would like to use the most bigger scale to build the Forbidden City, because the more detail to show the painting of the inside the building is more like the dragon or the things. It's just the gorgeous and very fantastic build people can use the visualize to show them. So.
Excellent. So, are there any questions in the audience? Because we've got several more questions in meme chat. They've just got tons of questions for you all. So we've got the next one is, for those of you who have international teams, how do you coordinate so that everybody is kind of on the same page and doing the same design and stuff like that?
Okay, what we do, we're a team of 35 from 13 different countries, so we're very international. We have various chats in Skype that we use a lot, so we always put updates in there so every builder knows what's up next. There's other tools you can use like Trello and just other things that keep people updated of what needs to be done next.
Oh, great.
For us, it's kind of different. It's in China, it's kind of more fixed to a certain region, but it doesn't mean that we don't embrace other people. We still do, consider about the fact that we still try to interact with global teams like goCreative, try to see how we can work together in the future, and also BlockWork. Some of us are trying to move forward into international regions because it's our first time. And yeah, I think we will face the same similar problems maybe you guys faced before. If we work into international regions, how can we overcome the fact of communicating? I think maybe English is the first thing. Language, I mean, culture might not be a very big issue if we have on the same page, but I think language and also the structure is very important in coordinating.
Oh, definitely, definitely. So we've got another question from Beam Chat, which is, what is the most fun project you've built? Like the one that you've had the most fun building?
Okay, so we've made a project that is called the Beehive, and it's basically a gigantic queen bee. I think we have a picture of it.
Yeah, let me
somewhere.
get it right now. Sorry about this.
It's basically a gigantic queen bee sitting in a really, really big beehive.
Right here.
There we go, that's the
There we
bee
go.
you can see there.
Wow.
And it's around 3,000 by 3,000 blocks long, and there's a lot of work and effort that goes into a build like that. It's months and months of building and adding little details. You can't see a lot in that picture, but there is a lot of detail in there.
But it was also the most fun.
Yes, definitely, because the end result is just the most amazing thing ever, and you love sharing it. Other people love exploring it and looking at it, and that just makes us happy, and that's why we do this.
Excellent. And so, what was next person? What's your most fun build that you've built?
Well, I think my favorite building like project is the Sanya.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me get to that. It's good. Continue.
So that is my first project when I joined LinsCraft team, and I think what is fun is who you build with, not what you build. Like if you play with your friend, because Minecraft is a game, so if you play with the people around you that you are like, you guys are friends, and yeah, so that will bring me like happiest time. Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
Well, I think our most interesting project might be Peach Blossom. Well, we don't have a big picture in the PPT, but it is a fantasy style project that we cost a lot of time creating the terrain. It's a place that's surrounded by a huge amount of mountains that most our buildings was built just on the mountains and cliffs, which was the I think the most wildest imagination of our projects. It's that's it.
the Forbidden City project is my first. I leader.
Can you put the microphone a little bit closer?
I leader the this project is. I feel so funny for the because then I searched so many documents on the internet and I learned about history or the art or the so many technology on the Asian China. Also, I can when I visualize the painting on the palace, I will feel I'm drawing some picture on it. So I also like painting, so I enjoyed it.
For me, I'm also, sorry, I'll stand up. I'm also LinsCraft, but I will take a bit different opinion. Actually, just a second, I think it's right over here. It's actually this one right over here on the top. It's actually called Port of Frontier. I think that was the, and then another kind of interesting thing I went over. I didn't participate fully in this project, but it seems that there's a lot of more interesting things that go beyond Sanya back in a year ago. And I'm not criticizing it's bad. I'm just saying that it's actually more interesting because you see more stuff like little trains and little areas. You put people with different shops, and it's kind of it's a conglomerate of individual things inside. So I think that's the most fun out of it for us.
Excellent. Do we have a question from the audience?
Yes.
Great.
Do you think you could build it in survival mode? Anything?
Sorry.
Do you
Also,
think you could build
when
it
you
in
guys speak
survival
into the microphone, can you make sure it's right up to your mouth?
Do you think you could build anything in survival mode like that?
Sorry, what? I still can't hear.
He wants to know if you could build something this in-depth and detailed in survival mode.
You can, but it will take you a very long time because you have to get a lot of materials and then build them. And some of the materials that you use with Roll Edit or Voxel Sniper it's not available. Like I think it's a 43.4 or something that you have the slab, but it's like 4-faced, so it's not like doubled. So some of these blocks are only generated by Roll Edit, and that's only possible over there. So it won't be. It's possible, but it will be very hard for you to do it in survival. Any more questions from?
Yes, we have several more questions. So another one is, let me see. Where is it? There we go. How did you learn to start building things like the more organic builds? Like, I think they're talking about like the plants and, for instance, the hive and stuff like that. So as opposed to like buildings and stuff like that, how did you get started building organic things?
So we do a lot of organic builds, and what really happens there is we always try to come up with something new and something interesting. And most of the stuff you make in Minecraft at the beginning is like houses and structures and all of that. So we try to make it a bit more difficult for us. So we come up with these things, and then it's pretty much just trial and error. You can Google a lot of things like the anatomy of humans, or you look at skulls and you look where the bones are, where there are holes, and you just study it, and then you try to replicate it in Minecraft.
Very cool, very cool. Okay, the next question we have is, let's see, is a lot of it hand built? Or if not, what tools do you use to build with?
Should I start? All right. For us, it's just us, LinsCraft. I don't want to be, representing you guys. For us, it really depends on what kind of tool we use. For both project Port of Frontier and Sanya, we use Roll Edit. We use Roll Painter to do the terrains. We use Voxel Sniper to do a lot of shapes. Gardens, especially those we call it like those fake mountains, in China's gardens. We use a lot of, we still hand built some of the stuff because it actually needs detail. So as you can see, some of like the architecture over here are actually hand built. But some of the stuff like more natural shape, more terrain shape, we try to use other advanced tools to bring it together. And of course, you need MC Edit to combine them, of course, as well. Start goCreative.
Some other tools we use are special tools that we develop on our own. Some of those are available online if you want to download them, you want to get started. You can just Google our name or put it into Twitter, goCreative, and there you can find them all. And you can, they just help you building. It's just more efficient and quicker, and that's what we try to do with our own plugins.
Great. Also, a quick question. If you could go down the line and tell us what group you're with. I think some people in the Beam chat want to know what groups you're with.
So I'm from goCreative. You can find us on Twitter at goCreativeMC or our website gocreative.team. And we have a bunch of builds there, and you can check us out there.
Great.
I'm the animation director from LinsCraft, and if you are interested in, you can check our website, which is linscraft.design. Yeah.
I'm Jesse from Epicwork of China, and so we are mainly focused on the rebuilds of Chinese ancient buildings and architectures.
I'm from the team of the Cthuwork. Also my teams builds some creative project on the Renaissance of the Forbidden City or something like that.
And I'm from LinsCraft, so it's the same. You can visit us on linscraft.com or linscraft.design. You can go to our YouTube channel if you're interested in looking at our videos. We also have a Twitter account. We actually are like kind of live streaming sometimes. And we also have a Facebook if you want to take a look at it. And yeah.
Great. For one of our last questions is very similar questions, which are, what are some of the things that you see people who start out at that you think are beginner mistakes, and do you have any tips for beginners starting out? So what are some of the mistakes that beginners can avoid, and what are some of the things that beginners can get to get started in making amazing builds like this?
So what I think, this maybe is a great example. It's a really good build, and it just very important is atmosphere in your build. So you not only create a house, but you also create the terrain around it. You add trees, you add a little waterfall. Details can help your build a lot. Other just really basic beginner mistakes. If you build a house, use, for example, slabs for the roof, and look at actual real-life houses and try to put them into the game. And don't limit yourself by what you've seen in the game itself. Just try it out. You can look at a lot of things that other people have created and just maybe copy them for the first time. Then you know how the style works, and you can work from there.
Some great advice.
Well, I will say, don't lose your passion. So, yeah, just work on it and don't give up. That's it.
Well, for me, I have to say, practice makes perfect. Every builder starts with small projects, but then you can learn other builders' projects and start from copy to combine your own thoughts and imaginations to the old projects. Then you can finally start your own creations.
You can search on the internet or wiki. You can find so many technology of the building, and when you learning to how to use it in the building, you can get so much fun on it. So.
And for me, I think the difference is not to start with something big. So if you're new to creative, try not to build something like this scale, or yeah, but you get what I mean. But like, try not to create things that are actually listed over here, because you definitely get into a pitfall of thinking you're the best, and then basically you will get a very hard fall. I just want to say that to create these things, it takes time. It depends on you, but it takes a lot of time of practice. You will go through a lot. My suggestion is to go through lots of pictures, a lot of different artworks. Try to get the shape first, and then eventually progress for something that is small, and then build upon it, and then enlarge it, not in like the scale.